Where are you? Yes, we're due in 5 minutes. I told you it's near the cemetery. There's like eucalyptus trees here. I don't know, it's like a park somewhere. Wait a second, I can see some Filipinos there. Wait, I'm gonna ask them where I am. Hang on a second. Hurry up! Ay, ito talagang sinabi ko. Oh my God. Excuse me, do you know where the party is? Hello, hello, hello. Wake up! Wake up!
Thank God that was just a dream. Oh.
That's okay. Now let's go get something to eat.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Aswang episode of the Marcus and Michelle Show with your hosts, Marcus Rivera and Michelle Baltazar.
Zombies, werewolves, and vampires. We all love a good scare. But how much of the legend is real or not?
And imagine if there was an evil creature that has the traits of all three. This creature eats human flesh, like a zombie. It is a shapeshifter, like a werewolf. And it has the strength of 1,000 men, like a vampire.
Well, you don't have to imagine. For hundreds of years, the Filipinos have known this creature, and it's been embedded in the Filipino psyche. This creature is called
While many people dismiss zombies, werewolves, and vampires as fiction, that is not the case for the Aswang. In the Philippines, up to 80% of Filipinos who live in the provinces believes in the Aswang.
What is an Aswang exactly?
Evil.
But are they really? Here are the top 10 scary things about the Aswang.
Starting with number 10. The Aswang can be found anywhere in the Philippines, but mostly in the Visayan provinces, most famously in the island of Panay. If you, your friend, or the person sitting next to you is from Aklan, Antique, Capiz, Iloilo, Guitar, Negros Occidental, Negros Oriental, Siquijor, Cebu, Bohol, Biliran, Leyte, Southern Leyte, Northern Leyte, Eastern Samar, and Samar.
What about Luzon?
As well as Romblon, Marinduque, Quezon, and Batangas in Luzon. They are most likely to be Aswangs.
That's everybody. Number 9, an Aswang is a shapeshifter. They can take the form of a dog, a bird, a pig, or a bat to fool people or to stalk their prey and avoid getting caught when you think, oh, did I see an Aswang? Oh no, it's just a pig.
Number 8, different regions of the Philippines, different types of Aswang, and different names such as Tik-Tik or Wak-Wak. One example is the Manananggal, a creature that can split itself in half. The upper body goes up to feed, and the lower body is hidden in a secret place. It needs to reattach itself before dawn, or else it will never be a human again.
Number 7, Aswangs love babies, but not in a good way. They actually want to eat babies. They prey on pregnant women and will fly onto a roof, drop their long, thin tongue into the room where the woman will be sleeping and suck the fetus straight out of their unsuspecting victim.
Ouch! Number 6, during a lamay or funeral, the family needs to guard the body of the dead, or else the Aswang will eat it. An Aswang can turn a banana tree trunk into the replica of the body and make a switch so no one can tell the difference.
Number 5, unlike the vampire myth where vampires stay young and immortal, the Filipino Aswang actually goes through normal stages of aging. The only difference is that when they die, they can give their Aswang being onto a willing recipient. It's a different kind of pamana.
Number 4, how to find out if someone is an aswang. Check out if they have the philtrum, and that is the groove between your nose and your mouth. Or look into their eyes, and if your reflection is upside down, they're aswangs. There is also a special aswang oil which boils when the aswang is nearby, Michelle.
Whoa. Number 3, how can you fight an aswang? Well, aswang actually means demon in Sanskrit. So you can fight them with the crucifix, holy water, silver. But if you don't have those, you can also use garlic or the tail of a stingray. If you pour salt over the lower body of a manananggal, they won't be able to reattach themselves again.
Number 2, you will know that an aswang is around when it makes the sound of flapping wings, like the wak-wak. But don't be fooled. The louder the sound, the farther it is. If the sound is faint, it's actually nearby and right beside you. Cool.
And the number 1 scary fact about the aswang, they are called day walkers, so they're not afraid of the sunlight. They go to work, they go to school, they go to Woolies, they buy their Opal card. In fact, the person sitting next to you could easily be an aswang.
But in terms of aswang theories, are there anything else that came up during your...
Yeah, so in the making of the show, I did a few months of research, and I found out that there are stories about Filipinos meeting aswang. But there's the other theory that during the Spanish colonization, what would happen is that they would use the aswang as a form of social control. That meant, for example, that the government would say, oh, don't go out into the mountains, or don't go out at night, because there's an aswang out there. So that would be what the priests would say, when in fact, what they're trying to do is to avoid Filipinos congregating and forming a rebellion.
But the burning question is, why is an aswang or a witch usually a woman?
Let's think of the Filipinos pre-Spanish time. What happens is that in every town, there would be the local healer, and she's usually a woman. And what the church would do is accuse her of being a aswang, letting people say, look, she's not good for you, she's a witch, therefore come to church instead of going to her. So it's a matter of demonizing our local indigenous healers at the time.
And of course, we have a repertoire of mythological creatures. Other than the aswang, we do have the manananggal, the white lady. What else do you remember from your childhood? Duende, nunu sa punso, tiyanak, kapre, of course, yes.
I grew up in the province, and I remember at 7 p.m. it's pitch dark. There's always the stories about the kapre. And literally, there would be there's a tree behind our house, and apparently a kapre lives there. But I mean, this is so much for people in the province. But what about city folks? I mean, you grew up in Tondo.
I grew up in the city, and you know, the wak-wak, the tik-tik is not the language I grew up with. But there was the kapre, the white lady. When we would go to Pampanga or Bulacan, you know, come 6 o'clock, it's pitch dark, as you said, and we would walk through cane fields and rice fields, and it feels like someone is, you know, walking next to you.
So the reason why we thought we'd do this episode is to really explore, as migrants, do we still believe in aswang, or do they slowly disappear from our consciousness because we're not in that environment? And also, is the aswang real? We'll find out tonight.
Yes, but first, let's imagine that there are aswangs among us, and they lived in Sydney. What would their life be like? We'll find out right after the break. Don't go away.
Oh, this is ridiculous. How can you forget where you parked your lower body?
Alma, I was legless last night. But it was a rocking party.
Well, not so much fun now. If you don't find your lower body before sunlight, goodbye, honey pie.
Let me think.
Where are you going?
Kamusta? Listen. The window was open.
Oh.
So I flew right in. You know, I saw your message on Facebook about that. John! Hello! John?
Hello, Dario. You look like you haven't slept for 100 years.
Well, and you look like you don't know the meaning of the word health condition.
Guys, we don't have much time. Now, Dario, I know that you and, John don't get along well. But we really need your help. You're the only one who can help us.
Well, that depends. Does he really want to live?
If I had my legs right now, I would have kicked you earlier. I don't know. I left it in Paddington or Lara, somewhere in the eastern suburbs, I'm sure.
You know what, John? You are such a snob. Ever since you started drinking the Australian blood, Australian wine, you turned your back on the Aswang Association Committee, and now suddenly you need our help.
Let's just get this over and done with. What do you want?
Well, it's going to cost you
Anything.
anything.
Okay.
How about crispy pata?
Oh,
It's not Filipino, it's Vietnamese. Maybe I think it's Australian, it's a local from Brisbane. Would you like that?
Alma, you can't just bribe me with the food because I don't eat this anymore. I have become a vegetarian.
Vegetarian Aswang, don't make me laugh. My small intestine is coming out there.
What do you mean vegetarian?
You are so unenlightened by this whole thing. Don't you ever feel that when you eat meat, your stomach feels bloated? Ever since I started to eat the organic fruits and the vegetables, my hair has become so shiny and silky. Not like you two.
Shiny na yan, ha? Can we please start trading insults once I get my lower half?
Oh,
Did you bring it?
did I bring it? Well, of course.
Oh,
I
give it to me.
never leave home. Wait a minute. There's only on one condition that I will give this to you.
Anything!
I want you to become vegetarian.
I know you are one of the first migrants here in Australia,
That's
the first
right.
Aswang.
Yeah.
But you cannot force your beliefs on everybody. We don't want to be vegetarian.
Of course I can, huh? You keep eating these Filipinos, look at them, huh? You become diabetic.
We do not have time to argue. The clock is ticking. John, what is it going to be? Do you want to die or do you want to be a vegetarian?
Pass me the vegetarian stick.
Oh, so there you go. That's your Aswang oil. You just have to rub it all over.
I don't need
your
it
hair,
there.
all over your body.
Well, it's dry. Oh, there's a... Oh.
What's that?
Excuse me, did someone ask for a lower half of the body?
Let's just get it!
Hold on.
Oh my God. Thank you. Well, that was quick.
Yes,
How
yes.
did you do that?
It's
This is
very
very
easy.
magical.
Guys.
This is high-tech or something.
Very easy. You see, I have this app that locates the lower half of the body. All you do is press on these things and put the details on the phone, and presto, Uber delivers. Get it?
Oh.
I cannot believe you told me.
Oh,
You remember that Domingo's Pizza where you get your pizza?
Yeah.
You love it so much.
Yummy.
yeah.
There is no such thing as vegetarian pizza.
What?
Aha.
What about the Dutch mushroom? And the tofu pepperoni?
Chopped liver.
And the black olive?
Chopped liver.
Oh, no, Stella!
Ah.
Oh, sorry, wrong place. Alma! I thought I was 100% vegetarian, but now you're telling me I'm 50-50.
Yes.
50% Filipino, 50% Australian, 1% Chinese, 10% Spanish. It doesn't matter. Dario, you are 100% Aswang!
No!
Now get out
Yes,
and
I will.
take your better half with you.
Okay. Wait a minute. Excuse me. Can I still have that dinuguan to take away, please?
Yeah!
Okay.
Thank you to our special guest, Felino Dolloso! We are delighted to have with us tonight someone who was previously a military officer in the Philippines. Please welcome on stage George Torres. welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me over here. I don't believe in Aswang long time ago. I'm an ex-Marine in the Philippines. But because that we are intelligence, we are not allowed to stay in the military compound. That's why they put us on this house. Even though I got the gun at that time, but it's very, very scary because I saw it myself.
When did this happen?
When we went to this house, we're talking to the owner of the house. And the owner of the house, he got the very old father. And the father told us that something going on over here on the night time. And I start laughing because, like I said, I don't believe in it. And I say, what is that? They call about the tick-tick. It's a tick-tick is a small bird. On the night time, you can hear it go tick, 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 goes like that. And this old man said to us is, when the tick-tick is down, is lower than your house, the aswang is up on the top. When the tick-tick is up there, the aswang is on the bottom.
Ooh.
Now, 2 o'clock in the morning, I wake up and I want to go for a pee.
As you do?
As you do outside of the house.
Yeah, because we are living on this place. It's, the toilet is about, you catch the train to go on the toilet. That's why, you know, in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock in the morning, I say I just go over here because no one around, it's very dark. And I'm having a pee, minding my own business, and I heard this noise. And to me, it's a noise that is like a big bird. I looked and I saw this shape like a lady. And because the moon is very bright, when I look at her, she got these big wings, very big wings. And I couldn't believe it. And when I looked on the bottom, she got no bottom, only half of the body. And then I said, what is this? And I really get scared. I run inside and call my colleagues. I say, hey, listen, you know, it's something out there that I don't know what it is, but it's something there. They all get up and we all come out. Actually, one of my colleagues shoot this lady, shoot this aswang. They call it aswang. And then...
Was it a good aim?
No, because I think is, you know, he just pulled his gun and shoot it, right? Because we all get scared because we saw it. After that, the aswang eventually vanished somewhere. We all go inside, and all of us saying, we have to get out over here tomorrow. The next day, we are talking to this old man, and the old man said to us, see, I told you that something going on over here. And the man told us, we know who they are. It's husband and wife. These two aswang over there on that place is a doctor. And I say, how come they doing this? Said they don't kill or they don't eat the people around here. If you are new here, they don't know you, that's what they do it. And I said, oh yeah? Because we are new there. It's 8 of us new there. That's why I think they visit us that night. I tell my father, and my father started laughing at me. And he said, do you believe in Aswang? I said, well, Dad, I don't, but now I do. Because I didn't realize the Aswang is real in the Philippines.
Well, you're actually in good company because it's not only you who believe in Aswang. You saw what you thought was an Aswang a few meters away. Our next guest is someone who was less than a meter away.
Oh.
So please welcome our next guest, Nannette Ursua-Frohriep.
I can't wait. Nannette, welcome to the show.
Thank you for inviting me. Actually, I really did not want to come because I know that a lot of people are going to raise their eyebrows if they hear what I have to say tonight. But Michelle here, I couldn't say no, of course.
So you actually told me this story before the show, but can you just share it with our audiences?
Okay, so I was 16 years old, and to this day, the image is still etched in my mind. And it's something that I think anyone will ever forget. I just graduated from high school. I went to Manila. I was studying at St. Scholastica's College. After maybe 2-3 months, I really missed my mom and my sister, so I decided to pay them a visit. This is after dinner, nighttime. You know, young girl, just fresh from Manila. Went upstairs, everyone stayed downstairs, and I'm looking in the mirror thinking, oh, I'm so pretty, you know. I'm in college, you know, typical teenage thing. And the irony is that my mom's dresser, the mirror, this is the mirror and this is the window. So guess where I'm standing? I'm standing right here next to the window. And on our roof, we have a 2-story house, and on our roof, the only way that you can go on top of our roof is to go via our balcony. So I'm looking in the mirror, you know, making myself pretty, and you know that feeling when someone's staring at you, you know, like that burning feeling that you know someone's staring at you. So I look at the door, thinking my sisters were like, you know, playing games. There's no one there, so then I carried on. I still couldn't shake that burning feeling, and so I turn around, and as soon as I look in the window, and this is the window, and this is how close what I saw to me was where George is. The only thing that was separating us was the window. And what I saw was not a pretty image. It was, and I don't know if you're gonna believe me, it's a woman. Her hair was all standing up like static, but this way up high. And she was really staring at me, and her eyes were all dilated, really wide open, and all I saw was their eyes. The reason why I have a very vivid image of her face is because I could not scream. I could not utter a sound out of sheer fear, and I was just staring at her for the longest time, and her eyes were all white, and the irises are just really, really tiny right in the middle. And I thought I felt so much hatred from that person looking at me. I don't know if that is the case. Maybe she just wanted to eat me or take me. I don't know. I don't know who it was. And eventually I screamed. When they heard me, my mom just dropped everything. I heard dishes crashing downstairs because my mother said to me eventually, like the next day, that she's never ever heard me. It was like a guttural,
blood-curdling scream.
Yes. And she was so scared that she ran upstairs, and all I could say was, you know, just pointing at the window. And so the guy one of our maids, he was a man, he took a 4x4 or something. That's all he could find.
2x2.
2x2, whatever.
Yes.
That's all he could find, and he went all around the roof, and he couldn't find anything. And to this day, I can't explain to you. The only explanation that my mother had given me is, for many years, our next door neighbor behind us, they told us that the grandmother was a witch. Anyhow, there's another house behind them who was actually the last house because it's the river, and then there's another barrio, as you call it, like another small town, very small town across the river. Their mother would say to us, yes, she is a witch, and be careful with her because at 3 in the morning, we would see her floating from the river to the house.
Wow.
So I've never seen it, but my mom thinks that was her that was at the window looking at me.
Was she a doctor as well?
No. Just a typical grandmother.
So can we please give them a big round of applause for sharing their story with us?
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. Still doubt it? Who do you believe? Next up, our game segment, Halimaw sa Banga or Monster in the Jar. Welcome to Halimaw sa Banga or Monster in the Jar. On this table, we have a monster with all disgusting, slimy parts.
They have to guess what is the actual thing hidden behind these jars.
Please welcome our three contestants, Bless Salonga, Christine Jensen, and John Calvert. Come on up, not down. Come on up. What is the aim of the game, Michelle?
Okay, the aim of the game is to guess as many monster parts as you can.
First up, Miss Jensen. This is the monster toes.
So what do you think it is?
What do you think it is?
Ooh.
No? Okay, moving on to the next
Moving
part.
on to the next one.
This
So
is
that's the heart.
Yes. What do you
So
think?
we would like to thank Sydney University
What
for
do
the
you think?
cadaver that we were able to borrow for this game.
Tomato?
Oh, okay, okay. Next up, tomato. It could be tomato.
This is the tongue.
This is the monster tongue.
It's like a rubber.
Oh,
A
okay.
rubber,
What do you
okay,
think it
yep.
is?
Okay, next.
Next item.
Monster
This is
eyes.
Eyes.
Like stone. What's
Stone.
that?
Last is the
Ooh.
brain. What do you think? What do you think that is?
Oh my God! It's just like
What?
long one.
Long. Longganisa? Is it longganisa, embutido, what? So you've got one thing right out of 5 of them.
Okay, now Mr. Calvert. Let's see, give it a go.
Give it a go, all right. Give him a round of applause.
Give him a bit of encouragement.
Okay, here we go.
What does it feel like?
It's a gherkin.
Gherkin,
Gherkin.
all right.
It could be a gherkin, yes.
See how we go?
All right. Ooh, it's a...
I think that might be tomatoes.
It could be tomato, yes, yes.
It's a peel of some sort. Yeah, maybe it's green mango.
Okay, next.
Okay, next. Okay, the monster eyes. What do you think they are exactly? No? Moving on to the last item. What do you think this is?
Spaghetti or something like that.
It could be spaghetti.
Give him a big round of
Give
applause.
him a round of applause. Last but not least, Maleficent herself.
Oh,
Ooh,
pickles.
pickles, okay.
What about this?
What do you
Could
feel?
be a tomato.
It could be a tomato,
Yeah.
yes.
All right, next
All right,
one.
next up.
Oh my gosh,
It's the
what's
monster.
this? It could be eggplant.
Oh, could be eggplant. Next up, monster eyes.
Hold on.
Ooh,
Is that olives? Oh, no, it's not.
it could be olives. Okay, last one.
Oh, okay. It could be some type of noodle.
Oh, okay. Well, I think we have a winner.
4
out of 5.
Well done.
So congratulations to Maleficent for guessing 4 items out of 5.
Yes.
Okay, come on right up and we're going to reveal to you what exactly the items are. Michelle, monster toes, what are they exactly?
Gherkin.
The heart,
We've got tomatoes. So you did get this right?
yes. And the tongue.
Tongue this is the one that nobody guessed,
But Maleficent
Eggplant.
did eggplant.
except
Yes.
for the Maleficent.
And the monster's eyes.
Olives, as you correctly
With ping
guessed.
pong balls. And the monster's brain.
And this was the one that freaked you out, the spaghetti.
Well, there you have it. Thank you very much. Congratulations to our winner, Miss Bless Salonga. And thank you, John Calvert and my love, Christina, for joining us today. As migrants, whether you continue to believe the Aswang or not is really up to you. What's important to understand is that they have shaped our views, our culture, and altered the course of our history.
Are they real? A lot of people think of these as just that, a myth. But during our research, several people have come to us and shared their real-life encounters, such as George Torres and Nannette Ursua-Frohriep. So we can't easily discount that there could be some truth to it.
The Aswang is so much a part of our culture that we say things like ugaling aswang to refer to someone who has a bad attitude. Mukhang aswang if someone is physically unattractive. And lahing aswang as derogatory term to refer to someone who is greedy.
And there's also aswang in corrupt governments, in aswang for cheating husbands, and so many more turns of phrase. But there's another explanation that proves that the aswang exists.
Oh, what's that, Michelle?
This was something that was inspired by Sydney-based illustrator Ala Paredes. The manananggal provides a good analogy of what it's like to be a migrant. We are both powerful yet vulnerable, mysterious, and sometimes misunderstood. You can say that being part of two cultures, Filipino and Australian, we are forever split in the middle.
True, as if one half of ourselves is here in Australia, while the other half will always be rooted to our homeland.
In other words, whether we like it or not, we are all aswangs.
They're out to get you. Kapretik balang nunong sa punso.
They will possess you. Hanap nila'y pulso ng iyong dugo.
Now is the time for you and I to use the cross and bawang.
I'll pray at night. Walang aswang ang titikim sa'kin, basta't may asin. Cause it's a thriller, thriller night.
Kapretik balang duwende at aswang manananggal. Girl, it's a
Thriller, thriller night.
So kali crucifix para sa aswang, kapre, duwende at manananggal. Thank you everyone for coming tonight. That is the end of our show. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Hoy, hoy, hoy!
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.